Hi everyone. So in line with my recent suggestion, like kind of videos, I want to put out some ideas for season themes. So especially now in season 21, it's like a quite hot topic. A lot of people don't really like it, myself included. I enjoyed the pushing with it, but on the other hand, it was also very annoying with the RNG and the bugs and so on. So it could have done better. It could have been different. So here's some stuff that I came up with that is like not too simplistic, like the Ring of Royal Grandeur season or the nonseason or so. So I tried to make it a little bit more interesting and just give some ideas, I guess, for the future. So the season 22 theme is most likely already finished anyway. So it's kind of like something for the future. So just something I want to throw out there, I guess, and maybe we'll see something like it. So let's get started. First one is kind of like an item-focused idea here with corruptions. So I was a little bit inspired by Val orbs in PoE. So basically, you can like add stats, and that will be inactive on non-season, and later on, or just disappear on rollover or so. So maybe something like that. Maybe there's a new consumable that drops that, and then you can like add more stats. You can have like special stats like damage to demons, beasts, humans, whatever. Movement speed, toughness, maybe some other special effects. Maybe you could also buff like legendary gem effects, or give you like a mini version of such a legendary gem. So something like a mini ice blink, where you slow stuff and give some crit buff, or maybe like a mini Stricken, I don't know. So like a mini moratorium, 10% instead of 30, or something like that. So might be interesting. You could make these procs like in season 19 or season 20. You get a chance to get shrine and pylon effects when you kill something, when you hit something, I don't know, additional drops. So it's just anything basically. I just want to have like a huge range of effects and kind of like spice up the gearing process a bit, So you can have a kind of like a really crazy farming set in that season. You can have like a really crazy pushing set. Or maybe certain builds work really well with like these proc effects. Other builds work really well, but just like plain stacking damage effects if you can, and it would kind of make it interesting, And maybe you can reroll these items. Maybe you have to find a new one instead of like trying over and over with the same one. I don't know. So it could be decided. Maybe there's like a cost involved, like a cube recipe or this consumable that drops. That where you kind of have to decide. Okay, is this good enough? Is this what I want to keep? Is this good for my build? I don't know. So there could be a lot of stuff like this, I guess, and would make gearing quite interesting. Next up, we have like a Paragon idea. So basically, I want to more or less kind of introduce like a soft cap of Paragons where, afterwards you have like all the main bonuses already, and then it just becomes, not really that important anymore to keep farming Paragons, I guess. You have like some stuff that you can like unlock at certain levels, maybe to get like a flavor of time effect, a sage effect, a Cain's effect, just so some neat stuff, I guess, with like a small buff. Shrine effects every minute, why not? You can get like a really huge Bane of Stricken effect that you can unlock after like Paragon 1000 or whatever. Oculus that you spawn automatically, move the Hoarder, Furnace, some stuff like this. You can take like a few items basically and just bake them in, or some other mechanics, some passives even. It could be a lot of stuff, and maybe it kind of becomes like a big power spike basically at every point there, and then after that it's kind of like whatever. I think 2.5k is maybe also too high, I don't know. But on the other hand, it's probably something that I would also suggest as kind of like a cap. It could be like a trial run to see how people feel about having such a cap, for example. So like the good part about these season themes is they give you kind of like a timed like trial and error kind of scenario, right? So if people don't like this cap at all, then they will come back next season on another theme and another balancing update and so on. So just experimenting more also enables to keep these changes maybe permanently. Kind of like we have with the Lord Gem. That was a nice addition to the game, and I would also like to see more experimentation and more permanent additions. So maybe people realize, oh, that's pretty cool. Just go to like 2k, 2.5k Paragon. Something that's achievable for someone who has like a dedicated goal in mind. And then you have kind of like a more even playing ground and a more even competition basically. And then afterwards, maybe you don't have to cap the main stats, but you can kind of reduce it at least, so that after putting 1.5k points in dexterity or something. The next points just give like 2 instead of 5 and so on. So yeah, maybe something like that. The Pylon season, so it's like rather simple. So shrines and pylons are more commons, last twice as long, you will always spawn an elite enemy. This could also go along with like a speed and channeling rework, because both of these pylons are generally extremely weak and or not clicked at all, or like especially in the case of speed, I guess. Speed pylons are generally not clicked in many group scenarios because they make it impossible to group stuff with all the knockbacks going on. Channeling pylon is really useless for many builds, so both of these could see some love. Maybe the knockback removed, maybe adding extra attack speed. It doesn't have to be crazy stuff. Maybe channeling could give you some other effects. I don't know what that would be. But just resources and cooldown. Most builds are designed around the cooldown requirements anyway, and around the resource requirements. And channeling doesn't really do much. A Nemesis season, so a little bit inspired by PoE again here. So basically, you kill elite enemies, you get their affixes. So it can be like in the form of globes, or you can just get them as a buff, or you kind of like see the soul transfer to you, or something like that. So extra bonuses when fighting elites as well. You get Nemesis braces effect at all times. So kind of like many elites. Maybe there would be more elite spawning as well. And then you start spawning like Cain beams and thunderstorms and orbiter and whatever. Kind of like automatically, or when they hit you, or something like that. I think that would be really funny. And why not? Could be quite experimental, I guess. Invasion. So basically what I want to do here is I want to balance out a bit the bad and the good maps a bit. So you get like a demon portal that spawns on every single map, but there's only one. So even on the big map you get one, and on the Hell Rift you get one. So you kind of open it or something, and then that's like many enemies coming out of it, like bosses and elites as well, and so on. And that shouldn't be the only thing you fight, but it kind of like adds to whatever else is there, I guess. So get like a reward for killing them, like maybe some buffs, big progression, maybe bonus loot in T16 rifts, and then you can also have like some bots coming out. So yeah, that would be cool. And in GRs you could get like rewards at the end, I guess, like extra loot, extra gem ups. Extra gem ups is something that is always needed, I guess, in this game. So yeah, go for it. And just in general, it could be quite fun. Kind of like you can decide when to open it, and then you start finding it. And it's really cool to just mow down like a masses of enemies in most cases. So yeah, it could be funny. Super elites. I haven't really figured out what would be the upside of this, but it would be pretty cool to have some crazy stuff going on with elites. So you have like extra affixes, but only half-life sometimes, or some trash monsters have certain affixes. So you have like a Golgar that spawns like a Cain beam here and there. Just a random Golgar, and then you have like these small enemies that also sometimes have affixes. That would be funny. Elite packs are mirrored or doubled, so you can get 2 yellow Paragons at once, and something like that. Or you get like this illusionist Armadon pack, and you have like 20 Armadons on the screen. Just some crazy stuff like this, because why not? Trash packs can be converted into even more elite packs, so that instead of like only 5 or 6 elite packs, you can have like 12 or 15 on like a really big Festing Woods. Why not? Rift Guardians gain elite affixes. So yeah, you probably have to add some upsides to this, like huge elite damage, like big loot in T16 rifts, like maybe some extra gem, maybe some extra rolls, maybe elite damage becomes really impactful. I don't know, something like that. And it would be pretty cool to just have like some crazy fights. That's kind of like what I wanted to achieve here. So crazy fights. So yeah, and then whatever the upside is gonna be, I'm fine with that. So here, a boss focused season. So instead of one Rift Guardian, you get multiple ones. So maybe like 3 or 5, or 4. And they get like elite affixes as well. There's like, lots of enemies pouring in. Maybe like from a portal that opens again. So you have to kill all the Rift Guardians. So it's like, something like, no Stricken. But, most builds in the game are really heavily AoE focused. And actually having like these super crazy fights, where you have to try to fight all these Rift Guardians at once would be really amazing. Get lots of extra loot, and maybe some other rewards in Great Rifts when you actually defeat them. And maybe also, throughout the Rift, the runs could be a bit more dynamic with like a Rift Guardian spawning. It has like, rather low HP, maybe like, 5 or 10% of normal, but you defeat it and you get like a buff for it, or some big progression, or some stuff like that. And it just kind of like appears randomly or something. Would be pretty cool, I think. Yeah, and here we have a gem focus season, so you get like new gems, and that was also an idea by Eggman that I talked to about. So he said like, just to get like these random gems. Doesn't have to be necessarily like legendary gems, but also maybe some that you can level, kind of like progress with. So you put them, for example, in a chest slot to not take up any of the other gem slots, and you get like special bonuses. Can like timed pylon effects, special buffs after an elite kill, kind of like all the kill streak mechanic from season 19, periodic buffs like season 21. So kind of like build your own kind of combo. And if you imagine like 10 or 15 different of these kind of like builds, gems and effects. Maybe something is really just stat focused, something is like really controllable, something is like kind of uncontrollable. So you can kind of decide what to take. That would be pretty cool as well, I guess. It's kind of like a make your own combo kind of thing. So why not? Yeah. And lastly, a rather simple season, passive focused. So all character passives are enabled besides the 4 you choose. So kind of like rewording it. And as a little twist as well, Hellfire Amulets give 3 passives, and they can be for any class. So and they also work for every class. So in some cases this will lead to scenarios where you might get a really OP combo. Why not? And in other cases you would also get passives that don't work at all for you. So yeah, tough luck. But kind of like bringing back Hellfires on the table would be interesting. And with something like that, I don't see why not. Could be really funny, at least, to see what comes out of this. Yeah. So this is all for now. So I hope you liked my ideas. It's not very much, but on the other hand, season themes, we don't get that many seasons. So maybe you like some of these. Maybe you have some other really cool ideas. I believe that season themes are a really great way to include new stuff in the game and maybe keep it permanently, and I think we should see more of that. So this is mostly why I went with like a little bit more elaborate ideas in most cases. And let's see what season 22 is going to be. I'm quite excited, and hope you like this video. See you guys next time.